We are live at Muddy's right here at 40 Lincoln Ave in Watervliet for Flock University, the Albany Firebirds coaches show. I guess I should start with what's not working before we get to what is working, Coach. There's an issue with Facebook, so you got to watch on YouTube, and also I'll try to get it on Facebook at some point. If it goes up, great. If it doesn't, well, at least we're here. So we are here, and that's what I've done so far. I don't. I mean, it's not even really drinking yet. So let's introduce the man himself, head coach, general manager of the Albany Firebirds, our guy Damon Ware. Coach, how are you doing, and how's everything?
Been a very busy week since we last saw our flock in the university, but things are going well, and I hope our town is very excited for the players that we've signed.
Okay, so I kind of want people to know what your day is for two reasons. One, because I know how hard you're working, and two, you tried to shame me the other day because I came in a little earlier than normal, and you yelled out in front of the whole office, "Oh, look, Levack's here on time today." So like a standard day in the life of head coach, general manager Damon Ware.
So I get up about 5 o'clock, play with my dog, spend a little time with the family, get on the road to the office about 6:45, get to the office a little after 7, and my day goes all day until sometime around now. So I put in a good 12 hours a day. We're grinding it out. It's all hands on deck, and we're trying to build us a championship. And so, as always, I hope our town is appreciative of the kids that we're bringing into the community.
Well, and obviously, like we're sitting here, and I saw Dan came over, said, hello, it's great to have you, Darius back, everybody like that. And how many guys have you signed so far?
We are around the 30 mark at this point.
Okay, so, and how much is typically the roster is what, 24, 25?
So it'll be 24. Our final roster will be 24. Usually in camp, it's somewhere between 35 and 40. So we are almost to the point of our training camp roster. That's one thing about me is I like to recruit early and often. I want to find the best athletes in the country. I want to get through that process as quick as possible so we can spend time. We can get to know these kids. We can call them every week. We have plenty of time between now and training camp to get to know them, get to figure out some things on how they fit into our system. And so it's just important for us to be way ahead of the curve. And we've done a great job of that this season.
Love it. So also, listen, look, I think we got the Facebook. I think we got it. All right. Oh, we're on Facebook too. Look at that. All right. So for those of you who think I joined late, I didn't. It was StreamYard, the program we use. All right. So I saw, she said 35-40 going into camp. Let's this week in arena football, the hat and polo shirt, because maybe you thought you were going to play polo, goes hard.
I like it.
Anyways, all right. So yeah, so I've heard about the red polo quite a bit today.
I have too.
but I've not heard about the beautiful black jacket that Darius is wearing tonight either. A little something. Come on, a little high. Thanks. Tommy Gross is high as well. All right, so let's these guys, and you said the offense, it is coming together. Like, I don't know how many more people you're bringing in, but as a fan of the game, not even somebody who has stood on the sidelines, who's been to a lot of these arenas and stuff, as a fan of the game, these names are insane. We talked about the offensive line primarily last week. Today, live from Muddy's. Let's talk about this offense.
We're super excited. Obviously, I know everybody's been worried about who our signal caller is going to be, and so it was. As I told everyone, just be patient. These things take time. A lot of conversations go into it. A lot of negotiations. For a quarterback, obviously, you've got to pick the right place and place where you can prosper, place where you can win. And so it takes its time. But super excited. We were able to post that last Friday. I had told everybody we would say it on Friday. And so, we did a little later than I wanted to. We took it to the 11th hour. Obviously, it took us a couple extra hours, obviously, to get everything negotiated and done and signed. And we finally were able to do that. But Malik Henry will be our signal caller for 2024. Super excited about him. He's at that maturation process that he's just at the perfect time to be part of us. to come into a system that's going to work harder than anywhere else he's been, a place that's going to be a little different than every place he's been. I think it's the perfect time for him to join the Firebirds. And so talking to him, just, we had to go through the ups and downs of the, just the contract negotiations. Obviously, everybody knew kind of what happened last year, so we had to go through some of those just to make sure those things, weren't still around, and which aren't. And but ultimately, we were able to figure out this is the right place for him and I to coexist and win a championship.
Paul said, "Great signing so far, guys. Great pickup getting Malik Henry." I guess I have a great amount of pride in what we've all accomplished here, and especially the offenses you've brought to us and the guys that you've recruited so far. When I saw that Malik asked about, is the drama over? And I read that today in the Times-Union article. A part of me at first was like, how dare you? And then I realized, I was like, do we want somebody, if they're not asking that question? That's the right question to ask. Like if I were to date again, I'd want somebody to go, like, are you still a man child? Or,
right.
or you're like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not asking the right question, is that the person we want? So it's actually it's a good thing that your offensive leader, your signal caller, is asking those kind of questions.
So you got to understand, I look for cerebral people. And so through the negotiation process, we went through so many things, which again, that takes a certain mentality, a certain maturity, a certain intelligence level to go through all the details that we went through. And so super happy about that. Obviously, everybody knows I love the cerebral guys that, again, want to study and want to be, again, in Flock University. I mean, I love those type of people. And so we went through every detail, and I was glad he asked those questions. And so, everyone needs to know we're 2023 never happened. I mean, that's, as I said, that's a blip in history that is gone to me. Whatever happened during that portion of time, that's over. And so we are back to us. And us is the group that's been here since 21. We've had great success together. We've got a great group of people together. Everybody works hard. Everybody loves the organization. We love, every bit of it. And so for me, in recruiting these young men, it's, you got to tell me that you love it, and ultimately, if you can't tell me that you really want to be here in Albany and you'll love it, you can't be here. And so, obviously, Malik ultimately wanted to be here, and I was happy to get him signed. He's a very smart young man, and I see huge things for him in 2024.
I couldn't believe he's 25. Like, because I've known about him for so long, obviously he doesn't want to be known for Netflix, but that's part of his past. Like, the fact that he's only 25 mesmerized. I thought he was like pushing 30. But 25, that's a young guy.
He's a young man, and that's, that was part of the reason that drew me to him. And again, I don't want to discuss, the Netflix stuff. That, again, that's a moment in history for him, and I'm glad that he doesn't want to be defined by that. What I want to do is help this young man, realize his dreams as a quarterback and win a championship, and to hoist his first championship. And so those are the things that are most important to me. I want to put him together with great guys, putting him together with Darius Prince. Obviously, is going to be, something that he's just hasn't had. And so putting those two together, he's going to have a great deal of fun, and it's going to be exciting to watch his maturation through the Firebird season.
I'm gonna have to ask you to never wear the red polo again. It's taking over the show, Chris. Your coach rocking the nice red polo. As I look through, like, it's just one person after another. Like Bob, I see the swoosh on the polo. Merch must be coming soon. Like, everybody all over. Like listen. Okay, all right, calm down. All right. Again, I literally earlier today, Darius texted me red polo, and I'm like, what of it? And he's like,
he came in the office today and he saw the red polo, and he was like, Coach, why you didn't get me a red polo? And I just started laughing. I said, hey, sometimes the head coach get things first, but we can get you one later.
I said, coaches, am I right? But also, like, listen, no offense, Darius. We've done pretty well. He was here first. He moved the family here, so he was in the first order. Now we'll rotate things through. And, listen, as a coach, he gets red polos. That's something that happens, So obviously, Brandon Cisse, Dwayne Hollis, they're going to get polos before Darius, because Darius is a player, not a coach. You guys can't see it.
That's fighting words.
just off camera is the maddest Darius has ever looked at me. Win another MVP. We'll get you a red polo. Come on.
Good goal.
Obviously, we're getting red polo. I just like to pick on him.
Right. Good goal though.
He's always there.
Way to go.
Right. Actually, yeah. Get another MVP. You get whatever color polo you want.
That's right.
2 of them even. He wants a gold one.
Ooh, I actually like that. Okay.
You know what? Right. If he gets it, I'll find a way to get you a gold Firebirds polo.
Like
you get the MVP,
gold
the AFL
polo.
MVP.
I actually really like that one.
I do as well.
So
obviously Malik Henry's going to get all the headlines. He's the quarterback, signal caller. But you signed a lot. I say you have signed a lot of great players, a lot of up and comers too. Who else is somebody that we need to pay attention to? What else are we looking at?
I mean, the whole team. We handpick every single player, and obviously we think every single player that we sign can help us win a championship. We talked a little bit about the offensive line last week, so we can talk a little bit about receivers. Like I said, our depth at receiver is just fantastic. Obviously, some we've already announced, obviously, and in having a 2-time MVP and Darius Prince back, that's huge. Getting Markel Wade back was another huge one. Him and I have been together several years, and so it was an important thing to have him back and have Darius and Markel back together. They're just such a great 1-2 punch, and also just with Wade's ability to play both sides of the ball, it was just something hugely important to get done. Obviously, again, Darian Townsend we signed, just another big-time player. Daquan Patton we talked about. Let's talk about, some of the new guys. Caleb Smith, his dad played for the Firebirds back in the day. So we legitimately have 2 kids that their dads played for the Firebirds, number 88 and number 86 for the Firebirds. So we have their sons in Daquan Patton and Caleb Smith. And that's just such a cool thing. And so, it's all about family. And so we preach that all the time here, is come and be a part of a family. It's amazing that we can branch out and be that important to other avenues. And so having these young men, and when I go to order jerseys and get number 88 and 86, those are going to be hugely important. And again, just how that would feel for a young man to play in the same place for the same team that your father played for. It's just a great feeling. And so that's big. We also signed a kid named Jared Harrell, a kid out of UC Davis, big, tall, physical, catch everything that comes close to a young man. We're real excited about him. So again, we brought back Ferry and Tony, a very explosive athlete that plays on both sides of the ball. So we've got plenty of receivers that can make plays. And so that's what it's all about. And at the end of the day, we've been, number 1 in the offense the last couple of years, and we want to keep that tradition going in 2024. So we brought some great kids that should help us do that.
Did we get this one? Is that?
We'll announce him later. I haven't given him his name,
okay.
So I don't want to throw him on the podcast.
This is one of those. It's one of those things. I see certain names go across the. So one of the things that I don't know how to put this and not sound like a jerk. I'll just sound like a jerk. One of the things that's great about working with head coach, general manager Damon Ware, is the communication lines. So like, I have information I don't need. Like, it's one of those things where in the past I didn't have information I did need, and it wasn't bad. It was okay. I could figure it out. I could get things done. But now I have information I don't need, and I'm getting better about asking whether or not it's information that anyone else needs before I do anything with it.
You are getting better at that, so we definitely appreciate. Like I said, I want to give everybody their day in the sun. So that's always important. I want all these kids to feel special. Coming to Albany is a special place for me, for my family, for all of us. I want them to feel that special too coming into it. So I'll give everybody their due, and then we'll speak about them on the podcast.
I like it. All right. So one Nani, he has all the colors as far as the polos. I know. I had to order them. That's why I'm giving Darius our time. I have a small amount of power right now, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it as long as I can. Chris said he can't be calm about the polos. Did you know that all you have to do is wear a red polo and it'll change all the questions?
Hey, well, now that I know, I'll wear the red more often.
This is an interesting one, because I had seen Jay Bernard. How did we pull Wade from San Antonio? I have my theory on how this was accomplished. Obviously, different leagues. So I thought that was the biggest part of it.
Well, and that's a good question. Obviously, it's a tough public question, but I'll give an answer to it, certainly, as I always want to be as transparent as I can. Wade and I have been together since, his rookie year, and we've had great success. And back in 2018, he was an all-league receiver in another professional league. We've been through some battles together. And so our relationship just supersedes just football alone. And so through the process of him, the negotiations that happened with some of our former players with the other team just happened before we were able to announce. And so that kind of muddied the waters. And I'm not the kind of person I want to go after any other coach's players. That's not my style. If I know that you're signed with somebody else and you're in a good situation, I wouldn't even talk. But in that regard, me and this young man have talked so many times on so many days for so many years. It was just an impossible thing to not talk to him when it was time for us to talk. And so, we went through the process. Obviously, I wanted him to make the best decision for himself. I didn't pressure anything. I didn't, hey, come be with me. And I never put that on him. It was truly.
Well, you're not that guy.
Right.
But how much of it was when you became a head coach in the AFL with Ironman? Because, when we met Wade, he was a very, 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 very good wide receiver. He, like you mentioned, he's become a very, very good defensive back as well. I just always assumed it was the chance to keep that going on top of his relationship with you.
I mean, absolutely. He is, the biggest surprise in bringing him in 22 was just his ability to play defensive back. I mean, it was a surprise to me. I've always known he's a phenomenal athlete. He can play basketball. He can play football. He can play multiple sports. I always knew he was an athlete. I just didn't realize just how good of a defensive back that he was. And so bringing him in was a great surprise to me. And just kind of, he's continued that tradition since that point. And so for him, obviously, to showcase that he's a great two-way player, obviously is important to him. Being in the AFL was important to him. One of the things that we talked about is, he's been in the other leagues. And so the one league he had not been in was the AFL. And so that brand was huge to him as well. And so just going through the process, like I said, I want him to make that decision on himself. There was no pressure done by me. Ultimately, he wanted to be in the AFL in Albany and with me, and we made it happen. And so I'm happy he's here. And like I said, there was no sleight of hand or anything towards any other organization. It wasn't anything it was just literally the timing between them negotiating and us coming back was just, there was a little bit of muddy in the water. And so that's how it all worked out.
From Muddies.
Live from Muddies.
It's live from Muddies today. And that because again, I know, listen, me personally, I'm very competitive, especially with friends, former coworkers, stuff like that. You're a very competitive man, but your honor system is a little stronger than my own. So that's why I wanted to let that one out there, let it breathe for a second. But again, we're the Firebirds. We're the AFL.
Firebirds, baby.
And by the way, I love what you said in the beginning. You put Prince and Wade out there together. Heck, I want to be Patton. I want to be Tony. I want to be the other guys.
Right.
Because how many? I know that the defense in Ironman is different. But let's do this. You are the professor. I love. Darius accepts it now. He's not giving it. No more cock out from Darius on it. So. Give us, like, for those, I think there's people now that the Firebirds, the AFL, people that didn't fully open their ears and hearts to what we were doing in the past, maybe don't even really know what Ironman is at this point. So for people who are going to be looking to get their tickets the second they become available, which will be very soon, by the way, what's the Coach Ware, Professor Ware version of Ironman when you see it?
So obviously an Ironman, for those who don't understand, it just means, again, that players have to play on both sides of the ball. And so there's multiple positions that a young man has to play throughout the course of the season. So traditionally you're going to have 2 or 3 offensive, defensive specialists. Those are people that only have to play one way. The rest of the team, the other 5 guys, must play both sides of the ball. So if you're a wide receiver, you normally play defensive back. If you're a linebacker, you normally play running back. You know, if you're an offensive lineman, you play defensive lineman. So those are some very basic things. There are some receivers that play the jack linebacker. So there's all those positions. So you're rotating back between playing offense and defense. And so there's a way that we've, you know, kind of put our two platoon system out there and maximize the potential of guys that are better on defense versus guys that are better on offense. So I won't get into the whole schematic because we do ours a little bit differently, but that's the thing. And so you have guys that start off and let's say we start on offense, you know, you're playing receiver and next thing you know, you're flipped over, you're playing defensive back. And so it takes some special kids to do. I don't know if people realize how hard that is to go, you know, run routes against a defensive back and then turn around and be the defensive back against the receivers. And so these are tough things to do, and it's not as easy as people think. And obviously, again, you've got to find special athletes. And so there's not as many athletes that play both ways. You look at Travis Hunter now at University of Colorado. He's playing both wide receiver and defensive back. And so you see those, but they're few and far between. And so you really have to delve into film, really look at certain aspects of their film to decide, can this guy go from wide receiver to defensive back or defensive back to wide receiver? It's a much tougher process, and the system that we have it's much more grueling, and that's why we've been working so hard.
It's just getting a little rowdy and muddy. So it's great. We love it. It's fun, which rowdy in a good way, the best possible way. Listen, I kind of want to hit this question first, but you'll then answer it more appropriately, probably. Tim asked, Coach, do you think the Firebirds have had an unfair advantage recruiting players versus other AFL teams that haven't officially been announced?
All right.
Can I tell everybody what our unfair advantage is?
Sure.
It's him. It's him. Like, it doesn't matter who's announced and who's not. And by the way, how many teams were announced before? 7, 8, 9, 10. The one thing I have noticed about players, both from the AFL when they were here in 18 and 19, the NAL when they were here, 21, 22, and they love you. Like, there's something, and obviously, like, I know what it is because I've worked with you. Players love you, and then they become the recruiter. So Darius Prince now someone will call and go, "What's it like?" I heard Coach Ware's a good guy, and what's going on there in Albany? And then Darius Prince goes, "He's a very good guy. Get your butt over here." Like, that's kind of it, and that's what I've seen on the periphery.
I mean, that's the culture you want to build. If you're a coach and that's not how it's going, then probably something's wrong. But of course, you know, we want our players to go out there and find players that can add to the culture, or guys they know or respect. And so, yes, I mean, you know, the reason I work as hard as I do is so players do turn around and say, Albany's the best place for you to go in the country. And so we've built that culture over the last several years, where players want to come here because they know they have a chance to win a championship. And so that's not, you know, there's teams out there that I know open training camp and say, hey, you know, our goal is to win a championship, and that might be just fluff. But here in Albany, in our blue collar city, when we open up training camp, we truly believe that we must win a championship for our crowd. And that's why I work so hard, and that's why I've worked so hard in recruiting. And so to answer, Tim, your question, it's not unfair advantage. Just because there's some things that haven't been announced doesn't mean that they have not had an opportunity to do what they need to do. Everything will be announced by November 16th. There's a lot of great information coming out. Again, we're all kind of on that gag order, so I can't say much on those things. Everything will be out by November 16th. So you'll kind of get to see what all the league has been working so hard to do. They've been busting their butt too. And, you know, like I said, people having all these questions and, it's not going to happen. It's not this. Absolutely. It's happening. And there's a lot of great information coming out, but there's plenty of teams right now that they're recruiting, and I can't answer why they do or don't sign or announce or do whatever they do. I can only tell you what I do. I get after it. And so it was time to recruit a championship football team for 2024, and I wasted no time. And I will continue to waste no time finding the best athletes in the country to come help us bring another championship to the Capital Region.
Flock you live from Muddy's right here in Watervliet. And we're gonna order camp 35 approximate players. You're gonna have to pare it down to 25, and then we're gonna go into the season. Between now and then and everything else, you never stop looking though, right? Like you're always.
No,
there's an old joke: a man is as loyal as his options. Is that the same for a head football coach?
You got to understand, and through the course of a season, there's a lot of things that happen, and God forbid, I hope every single one of our athletes is healthy and continues on great. And so we've practiced in a way, and we've been very lucky. We've only had a couple of injuries here in the last 3 years, and so that says a lot. However, you have to be planning for the future. And so if anybody goes down midseason, I need to have a guy that I believe in and ready to get signed and come in immediately. So we will really recruit, even if we don't need the guys, we will recruit all the way until the rosters are locked for the playoffs. We'll recruit all the way up into that day because you just never know. And so that's the thing. The unknown part of it, we will continue to grind and always have players ready and available to come to Albany. Darius
Prince slides in on the end there. And Darius,
you could over a little bit.
Were you? So your time in an Eagles uniform, was that always during like preseason, or were you ever one of the guys who were calling it like a Tuesday? Because it's a known thing. Like on Tuesdays, if you're on an NFL team, some dude's coming in to take your job in practice. Were you ever one of the Tuesday guys, or were you a preseason guy?
Preseason guy, man.
I'm not saying it like an insult.
No. I didn't take it that way. Be a preseason guy.
So when you're in preseason, you're still trying to take a vet's game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So got the opportunity and just tried to go in there and make a name for myself, and it's still a spot. Try to make that active roster or practice squad.
I want to make sure the red polo is visible. It's good for ratings.
There's
a bunch of people watching right now just going.
I do have this lovely black Nike. Got the check on it.
Look at that.
Jeff Levack hooked me up with it, so
very nice. Coach Ware actually designed that one, but whatever.
I said this in the announcement. For those of you who don't believe it to be true, let me teach you something from Flock U. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it worked. I'm very good at spending the owner's money. Mike Corda, Andy Kelcher, Richie says that you guys come up with good ideas. I will find a card and I will squeeze that card until your good idea materializes.
We love it. We appreciate you for that.
All right. So Iron Man, why do you want to play Iron Man? You're an MVP on the offense. You're this, you're that, you're all. Why the hell do you want to play Iron Man?
He doesn't.
But
okay, you answer.
I'm about to say I just want a challenge to be honest. I've done everything I've wanted to do so far at the receiver position. And I say that humbly, like I don't want to seem like I'm cocky or anything like that, but I like to put myself at the top, and I stand on my product when I go out there and I play. So DB could be challenging for me, but in the 2 games I played, I got 2 interceptions. So I'll play both sides of the ball. I don't think Coach Ware wants me to, but I'll play it.
He's always there for emergency purposes, but like I said, but at the end of the day, it's fun to watch him challenge himself too. As obviously he does what he does at receiver, and we love what he does at receiver. But it was fun last year to watch him, get in some games at defensive back and have success. So, and I understand that from his standpoint, having that challenge. That's we try to challenge him every day, but defensive back, that's a great challenge for him.
Absolutely. And considering that one of your best friends is now the defensive coordinator, how's that going to work? Right. Like for the people who don't know, guys, correct me when I'm wrong. Hollis has always kind of been a defensive coach. He's always been a part of the defensive coaching staff, but now that's his gig. That's his job. If let's say the guys have a bad week and then he comes to you and goes, I need my roommate. Are you going to let him have him for a week, or are you going to let him go and ask him if he can have you for a week?
I'll make those decisions. But if there's ever a moment that we feel Darius Prince can help us win a game, that's what's most important to me. So if putting him on the field is going to help us win the game, Hollis knows he can get him.
Would you even want to anymore?
Absolutely. I don't know if Hollis wants me to, but I done left him out to dry before in the game. I ain't do what I was supposed to do because I'm thinking something else. So I tried to jump on the ball, and the guy went deep and left Hollis out the drive, made him look bad. So Hollis was like, "Come on, man, you can't be doing that."
Tim Capper, wouldn't DP be considered an offensive specialist, or is that not an option in today's AFL? Yes, he would, but he would have been considered an offensive specialist in the first year we did Ironman in the NAL, and he actually politicked and wanted to play defense as well. So that's why I asked the question, Tim. Tim got the rule book trying to hold my feet to the fire over
Tim,
here.
these are great questions. Tim, he is our offensive specialist, so that is his main job. Obviously, if there's ever a situation that he needs to play some defensive back, obviously we would consider that in our game planning. So, but he is an offensive specialist.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. I can't. I think you should play defense. I have no say. I don't care. It's not my. There's a reason you bring in one of the top offensive minds / head coaches because he knows what he's doing, and then I shut the leap up or I try to make trouble so it's an interesting show. That's pretty much what I'm doing over here.
We'll get Hollis on and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, listen, and that's what I'm intrigued because, again, I know Dwayne Hollis, the defensive mind, because I've seen it as much as he's the fun-loving, dancing, Hollis Island, lockdown type corner. He does have a very, very solid defensive mind, especially for your secondary players. All right, let me ask you a tough question. First year as an actual coach for him. You got Brandon Cisse jumping in. He's coached before, but he's a defensive player. Are you worried that you have too many new guys on your coaching staff?
Obviously, that is a tough question, but no.
Good answer.
I've spent enough time with these kids to know what their worth is. I wouldn't hire them if I didn't think they were ready for it. Hollis has been ready for this job for years. I mean, let's be real. He is a coach on the field. He's been helping the back end of our defense since he's been with us. And so he's been ready for this jump. I've just really been waiting for him to say that I'm ready. And so we had those conversations right at the end of last season. And, we were 50-50. And Darius is over here shaking his head.
Yeah, why are you shaking your head for?
He was really adamant about him playing one more year. And
I just wanted my dog out there with me one more year. Him, but Cisse, they done left me out the drive.
As somebody taxed with putting together ad campaigns and selling tickets, one more year of Cisse and Hollis wouldn't have been the worst thing you ever did to me, Coach.
Absolutely not. But the problem is there comes a time for all of us that it's time to move on and take the next step. And not many people want to be coaches, and that's a thing. Being a player and being a coach is so different. People think if you play, you can coach. That's absolutely not the case. And so there's certain mentalities that can translate. And so obviously Cisse is working at the high school level now. He's been getting his experience. He's had a little bit of experience in the past, so he was ready to make that transition. Obviously, Hollis is in the same boat. And so if I didn't think these kids were ready to make that jump, I absolutely wouldn't have done it. But like I said, Hollis was ready a couple of years ago. And so I'm just happy to have him by my side. He's going to do a great job. He's going to, teaching the defensive backs. There's going to be nobody in this league better than him at teaching the back end. And that's no lie, no fluff, just because he's, one of my teammates. He's going to make our defensive backs great. And I'm excited to see him do it this year.
I love that. And again, I know how special those guys are. I know that sooner or later, some of these are going to be like, what are we doing? Whatever. But like, this is Daniel's over here at the bar. He wants to know how many signed players have coaching experience. Like, how many guys on our roster now can coach too? Like, what are we talking like Pop Warner level? How big of a level does it have to be?
Like I said, Darius, I think he's still got a few more years of playing in him just because he's got a young man's body. He's got a couple years. He'll probably transition into that coaching realm as well. And, again, if I'm coaching somewhere, somebody like him, I would definitely hire him as well. So, I think he's probably the only one right now that.
Jeff at Muddy's has a question. How would you coach you? Because you are a different kind of human. You see, like, for those of you who don't know, Darius can close a bar and open a gym. and he's not a spring chicken. He ain't old, but he's not a spring chicken. But he could close Muddy's tonight and then go open Best Fitness ABC or event tomorrow. That's not great to have around players who can't do that. Well, how would you coach you?
Well, what we always say at training camp is that Coach Ware always says it you just can't hang with this dude. Which is true. I like to enjoy life. You know what I mean? But I put the work in 10 times harder than that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always at the gym. I'm always working out. So yeah, I'll go out. I'll party, do whatever. But everybody just can't hang with me. So that's probably one of the things I would say. Guys just can't hang with me.
Do you find yourself
any of our rookies are watching this? Please take heed to that,
right.
Please.
Right.
Every year I tell people, don't. He's a different guy.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And they always go because they want to impress him. He's the MVP, and so they I want to let me get a taste. And it always turns out bad. So anyway,
always end up in his photo album.
I mean, true story. Nobody even knew what my job was yet. The Jersey trip in 21, so the bus trip, and one of the owners at the time was going to go on the trip. That owner drove everyone else insane. So my job was to go on the trip and keep that owner from driving everyone insane. That was my job for that trip. I don't want to tell you. I mean, that team doesn't even exist anymore, so you can't yell at the people involved. That hotel bar was open late. that hotel bar was open considerably late, and we were in a position where I could barely watch a game. Y'all playing the game. I think you had 3, maybe 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Barnett caught one going over the wall. He was not at the bar that night, but like, you guys. Do you send people home? I guess that's the question. Like, when you're sitting there and you look around the room and you go, "Oh, so and so, it's 11. We know how you're going to be. Get out."
So what we try to do is, we just tell the guys, know your limit. You don't have to impress us. You don't got to go shot for shot with us.
You don't say that to me.
Well, I mean,
I don't play. Yeah,
not a player, but
I'm about to get in shape just so I can get. I'm a player. Let me leave.
We actually had a rule in one of our teams that me and Hollis played on in Philly. If you go out the night before a game, or if you drink the night before a game and you play like shit, then you're not allowed to do that no more. Like, the vets will put it into that. We won't even tell coach. You know what I mean? We wouldn't do that, but you're just not allowed to go out no more. And we will make sure that, and if you do go out, then we will handle that how we handle it. But that was just something we did, man. You just got to know your limit. I mean, who are we to tell someone what they can and can't do? They grown men, and they're probably going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? We're the older, we're the vets. These are younger guys. They think they know it all. Like, you know what I mean? So they're going to do their thing. Like, so if you're going to do it, just be smart about it. Don't be out there being reckless, drunk driving, doing all that crazy stuff. But yeah, just know your limits.
All right. Well, I just want you guys to know, like, not only does that, like, can I keep things to myself, and I respect you, Coach Ware. It's the first time I talked about that story. There was another individual who was like trying to get me to speak, like, who was there? Where? I was not Coach Ware. I mean, Where, like WHERE. I don't even where. I've never been to New Jersey. You're in New Jersey right now. The cicadas. You see the cicadas? All right. I see what's happening here. I got more technical difficulties today than I can handle. So we're live here at Muddy's. It is Flock U. Coach Ware, Capper is hitting us off with some. Hold on, I just want to be clear before I see these eyes and I know what they mean. I know what they mean. I didn't even see you in Jersey.
Exactly.
I did not even, and that's the God's honest. I remember it was the first time I hung out. What is going on with this thing? Everything's coming together today. It was the first time I hung out with Darius Prince ever, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this guy. He's very loud. I remember the quarterback at the time swore to me that we would never lose a game that he was playing in, and at the half he had not been playing well. And I went, "You playing today?" And he punched me in the arm so hard I was like, "Dude, you might have broke your damn hand." But and then went out. And you guys lit it up the second half. But that's it. Again, I'm clear, very clear. Coach Ware was not there. He was busy working.
Yeah, he was not. He was not there. He was not there.
I didn't know at that point. I didn't think you liked me because you never spoke to me. But you were always downstairs working. Everybody else was upstairs trying to figure things out at a different level. All right, listen, Tim's coming at us, man. Coach Ware, how does it feel to follow in the footsteps of the Firebirds and the Capital Region legend head coaches like Rick Buffington, Mike Honesy, and Mike Daly?
Great coaches, obviously. Honesy with what he did his whole career and then in Chicago, and Daly winning a championship with the Colorado Crush. I mean, these are great coaches, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm just going to be me. You know, that's all I can really say is I don't judge myself based on other coaches. I'm my own worst critic. I critique myself harder than anybody does. That's why I wake up earlier than everybody else. Why I stay up later than everybody else and work as hard as I do. It's that's me. As I'm going to critique everything that I do, but at the end of the day, hope our crowd is happy with the job that we put on the field. Happy about the players that are in our community. That's all I really care about. Whether I can stack up at the end of my career and say, hey, I'm better than so-and-so or so-and-so, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. But all I'm going to do is just keep working hard and keep trying to win championships.
I love it. All right, let's do this. Let's do questions from the flock. I know I got Daniel over at the bar. There's other. I see the Nelson family's here. I got Steve is here. Steve's a Steelers fan. That's you love the Steelers, even though you're from Philly, right?
No,
he's a Rams fan.
I'm a Rams fan, and I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's how you say it today. Obviously, a lot of us. I love your wife. Tell me the date. I don't remember. I don't recall. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna go.
I have a phenomenal memory, and if you remember, we were playing pool in the lobby of the hotel.
Yes.
And I actually stayed up on the phone with you while because I actually stayed with another coach that night. It's a rarity. I'm not real good at staying with other people in the same room. So I stayed up. We actually stayed up late talking, and I was out in the lobby. And then when the other coach had went to bed, I actually went to bed after that. So, and
you're gonna get me in trouble. Now I'm not gonna be able to tell no more stories. Nobody gonna hang out with me ever. Okay.
So
seriously.
Luckily, I have a great memory. I absolutely know exactly that night.
Hey, a lot of these people are very excited about Malik Henry coming in. Darius, does he remind you of any quarterbacks you played with before? What are you excited about when you see Malik Henry play?
I think he's a young kid, but I see a really good upside to his game. And
he's not allowed to go to bars with you, by the way.
No, absolutely not. No, we can't do that, man. We he the quarterback. But Dan Waterball had actually reached out to me a couple days ago. He was my quarterback when I played in Philly, and he spoke very highly of Malik Henry and had me feeling really good. I mean, I've played against him. You know, he lit us up before, so obviously I think he's a really good quarterback, and I'm just excited to work with him. I really am.
That's cool. All right, so since we're talking about Malik Henry, Coach Ware, when you look at his skill set, obviously you're not going to give us X's and O's or anything like that. What do you think will be like different about this team? What do you think? What do you get excited about when you think about coaching him?
Again, just we'll be a little bit different than what he's been through, and so we'll just having the synergy with him and Darius. Obviously, that it's always fun, and now we've had several quarterbacks and paired them with Darius and watch their success grow, and so that's obviously one of the most important things to get started with early, but. Obviously we depend on the running game here. It takes a lot of the pressure off our quarterback, so he'll have to, be comfortable. Every quarterback that's come in has told me they want to sling it, 1,000 times and score every drive, and I keep showing them there's a way that we can use the running game to just help take some of the pressure off you and keep those defensive ends at bay. And so just, kind of add him into that type of a system, and then what we can do down the field. It's going to be exciting. And so he's young. He's at a great point in his career where he's really starting to get very good. So adding just that to our mix and our culture and how much we work at it is just going to be a fun process to see him go through it.
And also, if you feed shorts, he can't talk.
You will never stop that kid from talking. So if you think that's possible, yeah, I'm gonna sit you in a room with him all night. You go on the road trip with us, and I'll room you two together.
Honestly, I was thinking, I was just as much as like I love that you moved here. I love that Darius has spent time here. House can be here. Cisse lives here. the fact that my Knicks are playing shorts Celtics tonight, I have never been happier that dude is not in town. I mean, he will talk your ear off about those Celtics, and he knows it's true. But I'm so happy he's not here. This week in arena ball, I'm sorry, all of the Firebirds logos on the shirts and hats look so clean. Probably the best AFL logo ever. You guys had a lot of different logos on your shirts and jerseys. Where's this one rank?
I love it. And it's just not the logo. It's the history. It's everything that comes along with it. I have yet to see somebody in the community that didn't have a positive response to this logo. And so that part of it is the most exciting part. And so we're just glad to be able to rebrand and be a name that everybody understands and knows. And so, yeah, I'm real excited about this logo and this rebrand. Absolutely.
You're all about logos.
Oh yeah. I'm all about I'm all about logos and colors and everything like that. So I'm very excited. Rebranding history. I'm just excited that I can be a part of it.
I love it. So we got questions from Twitter real quick. What city are you most excited to play against? That's a tough one because we don't have them all yet. And we don't know what the travel schedules are going to be.
Orlando.
I mean, Orlando has always been the number one rival of the Firebirds.
And obviously being the 25th anniversary of them beating them in the championship game, that story goes in well with all that we went through in the year that we won't discuss. Orlando's is obviously an exciting place that we look forward to play. But I will say this, West Texas is doing a great job of who they're signing and putting together. And it's just, it is a team and a place that I look forward to going to. I don't know if we'll even play them in the regular season, but if we do, that would be an exciting game.
For me, I don't know when we're getting out there. The Oregon Black Bears. Kayvon Thibodeau is the majority owner of the New York Giants. I've seen a lot of great success with NFL players owning arena teams.
Yeah, just not here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember, it never happened.
Yep.
No, I mean it's exciting that you've got. I'll tell you one of the things I'd heard in the beginning is that this group, this conglomerate that came together to launch the AFL, I had heard about all their NFL connections. And we're starting to see them come to fruition. So it's like every time you I want to believe everything I'm told. Like I want to believe everything I'm told by everyone I work with, everyone I do business with. But I'm a skeptic by nature. So now to have these things start to come to fruition, I'm like, it's on. Like this is a thing. This is gonna be real. I can't wait.
I don't know. For our crowd, all I can tell you is they're gonna pace themselves on how they announce things, but we have a weekly call that we do, and I can tell you there's a lot of exciting stuff. I'm super excited. The organization's super excited. Just wait. I'll look forward when they put out the announcement for November 16th. When all that comes to fruition, there'll be a lot of excitement. And so just stay tuned. It's not too much longer, just a couple of weeks, and everything that needs to be rolled out will be rolled out.
One of our new owners is watching. I believe he's at the GM conventions right now on General Motors. Andy Gelcher, flock you. And
what's up, Andy?
What's going on, Andy?
It's good to see Andy. Andy's been a good friend of mine for years, a big supporter of the things I do. And now that we're going to mix the worlds, and he's going to wait do you see how much this guy's going to come through for this team. It's going to be amazing. He's a very, very, very good dude. Him and Richie, and of course Mike Cord is okay.
Yeah.
We like him a little bit. This is a good one. Jacob wants to know, are we going to wear throwback uniforms? We
will
invented
have
throwback.
a jersey reveal, and we just don't have the date yet. But at some point, we'll do a jersey reveal. We want to embrace the history, but we also want to make it new and modern and clean. And so you'll just have to wait for the reveal to find out.
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell you that two people in particular, I thought I had the uniforms figured out. I was very happy. A lot of people were very happy with what I had kind of put together as a sketch, as kind of an outline for what the uniforms would ultimately look like. And then I've never been bullied in my life, but this is as close as it's ever been when these two were like, these are nice. You did good. I'm not mad at you at all, but we're going to do this, this, and this instead. I'm like, those look good. I'm not mad. But at first I was like, why are you both standing so close? What's going on? What's going on?
It's look good, feel good, play good. But but ultimately, like I said, we want to embrace the past, but we also want to make it modern and new and fun as well. And so we've got some great ideas, and we just look forward to rolling those out later on.
Let me put it like this. You like the polo? You like the hat? Wait and see. Go on another level. Maurice Prince, DP the GOAT.
My dog, what's up, bro? Love you, boy.
It's nice to see a family member who isn't mad at me right now. No. Maybe a little bad. I mean, that's anybody. I mean, I see there's people here hanging out at Muddy's. I don't know if any other questions. Oh, here he is. I haven't seen this guy in forever. The coach's truth. The process. This is our
process.
Guy. One of our head of our scouts.
It is a process, and yeah, I just want to give props to Coach Johnson again. He's doing a great job in the scouting department, and just all that we really work from sun up to sundown. And I'm sure his wife's probably not happy with me all the time, calling all the time. But you know what? It's all going to pay off, and we're all going to be very excited when we put this team on the field. And he's had a great part to play, and a lot of phone calls and films to watch as I do. And it's just been a fun time with both of us getting to work, and the proof is in the pudding. We have one heck of a team to put out in 2024.
You don't happen to have khakis anywhere, do you? You should do with the red polo and the khakis, and they're like, "Who's on the phone with you?" It's Damon from State Farm.
We can do that. I've got khakis at home.
Yeah. Nani said I've done a good job so far, so that's good.
Hi, Nani.
Oh, I like this one, and this is a question for you guys because you're the coach, you're the MVP, and this is what we're being asked right now. So Albany was the last AFL championship. So would it be considered back-to-back if Albany won the first year back? So in 2019,
yes,
Albany won it. Now Albany,
absolutely.
Yes.
All right,
yep.
I like it.
Without question.
Yep.
I honestly don't feel like there should have been a champion named once we were out. I'm sorry.
Sore subject. I don't even want to talk about it.
One of our biggest fans, Dave Williams, go Firebirds. Yeah, it's a lot of there's a lot going on. Coach Johnson, she'll be all right. All right. I think that's about it, right? I think we got. Did they post the rule book yet, Daniel? Not yet. That'll be everything very, very soon. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. After hearing conversations, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody with a headset on is asked to look at that rule book before it's made public. And that's nothing. I'm just saying. And if he's not, he should be asked to look at the rule book. I mean, he's the dean of Flock University. I mean, come on. What else are we gonna do here? Did they post a rule book yet? What about Spike, the mascot? I can tell you that is a conversation that I have been in over and over and over again. I will not give you any details though, except for the fact that we will have a mascot. The mascot will have a name. And that's it. And I can sure guarantee you after years of wrangling two mascots, we will have one mascot.
I love it.
There's actually this is when you know that we're on to something. Like you have players calling you all the time. You have, local businesses calling Darius, hitting him up D Prince at firebirdsafl.com. Same HC Ware, firebirdsafl.com. All these people are hitting us up. I've got people reaching out, begging to be the mascot.
It's awesome.
It's going to be lit, man. It's going to be a lit year, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. We really got something special brewing up over here, man.
I can't wait. All right, let's hold on. Oh, this is Gaz, my co-host. Coach, do you find Levack or Gaz more attractive? You can go with Gaz if you want.
I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't find any man attractive. You're all ugly.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
His wife's watching. Gaz, what are you doing? I want to thank everybody here at Muddy's. Benny Wednesday, our guy, our social media guru. His whole family's here today. This kid is working his butt off for us. He's here. Steve, Daniel, ICC, of course, the dean himself of Flock U, Darius Prince. Are you here for good?
I'm here for good. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here for good.
When's the last time you saw a real winter?
A real what?
Winter.
Well, last year. Well, 2 years ago. But not like this. New York winters are different than Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying.
Pittsburgh get bad, but yeah. So a real winter. It's been a while.
I can't wait.
It's been a while because y'all get I
can't wait. It hasn't. It's been cold, but it hasn't been terrible snow wise. We've had a couple. When I used to have to go cover the Super Bowl, that's when we would get blizzards because I would be in like Arizona and my family would be like, "What the did you do?" Like, and so as long as I don't get tapped to go to the big game in Vegas this year, everything will be fine. I can't wait. You know, he's gonna hit us up like, "Yo, I need a truck,
right?
I need boots,
right?
I need whatever." I'm like, "Okay," and like, bring them to me.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank guys. Awesome job. It's always fun talking football with you guys. And I think we probably should. I mean, we probably should have a beverage and a case of beer or something. I think. I mean, just feels like the right thing to do at Money's.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. We'll be back next week. We're live from Hooters on Wolf Road. 6 o'clock on Wednesday. We'll be there. So come on by and say hello. I assume it'll be the first time you'll get a chance to meet somebody's wife. But we'll be there. All right. Happy Flock you to everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later.